Needful Geeks podcast, episode 12. We're back. Hope you liked our new intro. It's awesome.
It's retro, kind of like Roadhouse style, or Titty Twister, if you're a Dust Till Dawn type person.
Roadhouse. Yeah. Today I'm Blake. That's Ryan. Hi.
I'm Ryan. That's Blake. Sometimes.
Hi.
Sometimes he's Melanie.
And sometimes he's Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Oh.
Anyway, today we are each going to give you our top 5 movies, but maybe not the toppest, most favoritist movies ever, but a good top 5 that you should watch.
Yeah, this is a generalized list. This isn't the best of the best, but you know, we've said before we're going to do a video on movies. Every geek or self-called nerd or whatever should have in their collection or at least watch. And these are those. And this isn't the only list we're going to do because, you know, there's so many good ones. It's hard to put them all in the top 5 or top 10
or top 20 even. Shit.
Yeah.
But so let's get started. You start.
All right. Well, one of my top 10s was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, let's face it, Harrison Ford's a badass.
See, I like Harrison Ford, but honestly, I've seen all of them, but I never got that into Indiana Jones.
See,
I've seen them all. I've played fucking Lego games and all that.
Harrison Ford got typecasted. He's either Han Solo or he's Indiana Jones. And for me,
Blade Runner.
Yeah, well, as much as I love Star Wars, and I do love me some Star Wars and some Han Solo, I was always more of an Indiana Jones guy. You know, I was the kid that went and bought the whip at the flea market and went and just hit little animals and trees and shit. You know, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it was fun. And, I mean, Indiana Jones was basically an answer to James Bond, you know. James Bond was the sleek and suave, and Indiana Jones was the gritty, I'll knock your dick in the fucking dirt. You know.
True.
I mean, the story was good. I mean, it was pretty much a character anyone could get behind. The general feel of the movie just takes over, and it's great. I mean, everyone's got a favorite indie moment.
I mean, yeah, okay, like, I love the part where, you know, dude's sitting there with a sword fighting, and just like, fuck you, bang.
Yeah.
Okay, that part's always stuck out, because I love that part.
There's that, there's the boulder, I mean, there's the plane fight scene where, you know, Indy's fighting that great big dude in Raiders, and, you know, then he just kind of stops, and then the blades from the helicopter just kind of take the dude down, you know? I mean, there's all the snakes, why did it have to be snakes, you know?
God, these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
And who else could rock a bullwhip the way that Indiana Jones does? Everyone else is going to think he's into that bondage BDSM shit, but not Indiana Jones. He's legitimately a badass with it.
That's why I like whips.
I mean, it's Indiana Jones. Everyone's got some Indiana Jones going on in their life, and if they don't, you should check out Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's awesome.
Like I said, they're good movies. I like them. I've watched them. Hell, I own them. But
yeah,
it's just there just weren't ones I'm like, oh yeah, new Indiana Jones. I mean, I like Star Wars.
I like Star Wars too.
So, which now we're going into my pick, which really this is 3 movies wrapped into one. The original trilogy, Star Wars. Love them. I mean, it's fucking Star Wars. I mean, yes, 2 of them came out before I was born, but still, I mean, the effect they had lasting now, I mean, you can't argue with it. It's Star Wars. I mean, and the original not fucking changed by George Lucas 20 goddamn times, you know, for every DVD release he decided to do of them either. I mean, the original Han shot first. I mean...
Did you see where they interviewed Harrison Ford about who shot first? And Harrison Ford, his answer was, I don't give a shit. They said, Harrison Ford, who shot first? Greedo or Han Solo? He said, I don't give a shit. And I could just see Harrison Ford saying, I don't give a shit.
It's like I love you. I know.
And, you know,
that was great. Harrison Ford was awesome in those movies.
Well, Star Wars was good in general. It had the ability to take all of their characters, even the ones who had almost no real showtime on the movies, and make them great, like Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett was the shit. He was in the
barely
movie,
in the movies.
And he's like one of my favorite fucking characters. I mean, hell, I got a fucking desk full of Fetts right here. And I got a Mandalorian tattooed on my arm.
I mean, Star Wars is great. It's got everything for everybody.
And, I mean, and look what it did for, you know, some people's, careers. You know, Harrison Ford, he was already somewhat established to begin with because he was the highest paid one out of all of them. So it helped him even more. Helped him get the Indiana Jones gig. So, and then you had Carrie Fisher, R.I.P., and
Respect.
Oh, fucking... God, I don't know how many nights as a young boy I stayed up thinking of Carrie Fisher and Slave
We don't want to know about that.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah.
even Mark Hamill.
Right.
Without Star Wars, there's a good chance Mark Hamill never would have been the Joker.
Right. Because...
No one would have paid attention to him.
Yeah, because, I mean, really? Name some live-action movies that Mark Hamill was in.
He did a couple, or one of them was like a horror movie, I think. It was about a trucker or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But it's not many that you can think of. He did Jay and Silent Bob.
He had a cameo in Jay and Silent Bob.
He was Cockknocker.
But even it was Star Wars related.
Yeah, and fucking hell, even Chris Rock even knocked that they were gonna get sued by George Lucas.
George Lucas gonna sue the shit out of somebody.
Well, Carrie Fisher was in that one too.
Yeah, she played that nun.
Yeah.
The Rules of the Road.
That was. Oh, that was great. Some Harry Bush nun. Oh, that was great. But I mean, the reason I'm grouping those first three together, because one, I mean, the way they stretch out, I mean, yes, technically, you could say all Star Wars is one big giant saga. It's episode 1, 2, 3, and all that, but just the original trilogy in its original way. I mean, some of the shit George Lucas did to the later part where, you know, he added in some stuff I could deal with, like some of the backgrounds and all that shit. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, like I said, changing up who shot first, that sucked. You know, changing the damn... I mean, I understand why he did make it look, but changing Anakin's ghost at the end of Return of the Jedi to be Hayden Christian.
Well, I mean...
That I thought was shit, though, because, I mean, even when he's still... Because it made him go back to his younger self, where originally it was the same guy that when you took the helmet off, the old bald guy, that's
but
who
really,
he was.
you don't age that differently. Like,
Then
I don't look the same as I did when I was 18, but I still physically appear the same for the most part.
But
you know
why
what I mean?
does... Yeah, but why did Obi-Wan's ghost look like old Obi-Wan, and then he didn't look like Ewan McGregor?
Because they don't look that much different to me. Plus, Obi-Wan lived a little... Well, yeah, Obi-Wan was older than Anakin when he died. A lot older.
Right, but I
So
mean,
that's...
other than the scars and being bald, though, the Anakin ghost in the original, the way it was, that just had hair, was the same actor that was in the suit.
I think he more or less just did it for continuity purposes. Because you go into the prequels, and it focuses on Anakin, which is Hayden, whatever.
Christensen or something.
And,
yeah.
you know, you see him without his mask on the whole time, so it would make a little more sense for him to look more like that. So I guess that's why he did that.
Yeah, and then they changed Boba Fett's voice, which I understood that, because they changed it to the guy, since he was a clone. Yeah. They changed it to match the clone's voice, so I can get that. But I still...
Which what? As You Wish?
No, I think he said take him to my ship. Something.
And take him to my ship?
Or something like that. Yeah, he had a few lines, but...
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can understand that, because if he was a clone, he'd have the same voice as that other guy. The one who played Jango Fett. Yeah. So that made sense. But it just... Some of the changes he made I didn't like, some of them I did. Like adding in the backgrounds and stuff like that because of the effects, those I could deal with. But some of the other shit, yeah, I just didn't.
Right.
And thank God Jar Jar wasn't in it.
I like Jar Jar. I know a lot of people that like Jar Jar. What's wrong with Jar Jar? Why does everyone fucking hate Jar Jar?
He's annoying shit. It's like fucking Skids and Mudflap from Revenge of the Fallen. They're annoying as shit.
Well, I mean, you got Yoda, okay?
Yoda was cool.
I like Yoda. But he talks in fucking riddles every 5 fucking seconds. That's irritating.
Do not know what you mean.
Right. Know what you mean? I do not. You don't what? Know what you mean. Why didn't you just fucking say that?
He just talks backwards.
Jar Jar is simple. He means well. He kept the story going a little bit with his humor. You know, Jar Jar, I didn't have no problems with Jar Jar.
Did you ever see that episode of Robot Chicken where Darth Vader killed him?
Yeah.
He walked out and was like, little Eddie Bo Betty.
Alright, let's move on so we don't get too behind.
Okay, what you got next?
Alright, I got Shawshank Redemption.
Awesome movie. Very good movie.
I don't know if anyone doesn't like that movie. I mean, let's face it. This movie made you laugh, cry, and cringe.
And it had Morgan Freeman as a narrator, which is... He can fucking read any damn thing.
I mean... The acting alone in this movie sets it apart from most. Like you said, with Morgan Freeman's narration and Tim Robbins' ability to just engross you in his character. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, this guy, he gets put in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And then every single fear at least a man has about going to prison is realized for this dude. And he never even did the fucking crime. And
then he broke out and joined a team to help people.
Yeah.
On the run from the people.
He just gets thrown to the wolves. But it's not all for naught. He meets Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, and...
Who, you know, is red in that movie. He ends up being like a brother to him.
I remember the day. That guy can't sound like Morgan Freeman.
Andy got raped. I don't know. Then you get to see him stick it to the man at the end, though. You know.
Oh yeah, that's great. The Indy know where he crawled through and got out,
and that shit-eating grin he's got. You know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's great. That movie. I don't know. Everyone likes that movie. The Shawshank Redemption. It's based on Stephen King, is it not?
Yes, it is. It's a good movie.
It's got a pretty good cast to it. I mean, didn't do it. Lawyer, fuck me. It's a good movie. Shawshank Redemption. If you haven't checked it out, I think that's not only a movie everyone should see, but I think it's a movie everyone should own. It's one of those movies you can set on repeat and just watch when you go to bed at night.
Yeah. Just because Morgan Freeman's voice, too, that just puts you to peaceful sleep. Morgan Freeman. I wish he'd come to my house and read me bedtime stories.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome. Or he should just put out a bedtime story tape.
You can wake up like hours and fall asleep and he's still there staring at you. You can go now.
Like,
all right.
I'll just make sure you're asleep. Okay. My second movie, which is another couple of movies together. Because technically, if you watch them back to back, it is one big, long fucking movie. Hellraiser 1 and 2. And the reason I picked them in there, because one, Clive Barker had his hand in this one. These were more to his original book than the later ones ended up being. And it changed in horror, because at the time when those came out, it was pretty much your slasher flicks. You know, your Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, and all that, which are great. I love them, but I mean, it's the same type of MO for the most part, changes up a few things. Hellraiser completely changed all that shit. It wasn't a slasher flick. It was just torture, S&M, fucking... It was awesome.
I could get behind Hellraiser.
See, you don't ever like fucking Hellraiser.
It's not that I don't like Hellraiser. I just, I tried to watch Hellraiser. And if I need to watch it again and give it more time. I need to get drunk and watch it or something because it's so fucking boring at the beginning. You just see some random ass couple and their kid, and like it goes on, and then you see some dude in the attic suffer, and you're like, okay.
Well, no, he doesn't suffer. He
and then
you're like, from the dead, and he
Family Guy's on. I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's just that's the kind of movie you can't watch and expect to be engrossed in by the first 10 minutes. You know, you got to invest in that movie. But from what I understand, it's a very rewarding movie once you do.
I mean, yeah, you get the Cenobites and
give that movie some time, and it's the kind of movie that grows on you.
I mean, I love Cenobites.
Cinnabons. I'm hungry.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a great fucking flick. And like I said, 1 and 2 pretty much just one right into the other. That's why I bumped them together as
what
one.
You know what I like about those movies. You know, like I said, I haven't seen them, but the whole following of those movies, it takes a good horror movie to get you on the side of the bad guy, and that's one of the movies where, from what I understand, you're rooting for the villain. Mm-hmm. Like when it comes to Jason and Freddy anymore, I'm on their side. Them fucking kids should know better.
Yeah, don't smoke, don't have sex, and
if you go boning in the woods,
you're gonna die.
In a Jason movie, or doing drugs, or doing something you ought not be doing, you're gonna die.
If you play video games in a Freddy movie, you're gonna die and be in a video game with Power Glove.
At least that kid put up a fight.
Yes, he did, but he had the Power Glove. And that shit was awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and the one and fucking Breckenmeyer when he got fucking stoned and they're playing In the God DeVita. That was great. He's like, whoa.
All right. Moving right along, in the words of Kermit, Fight Club.
Fight Club. Love Fight Club. Fight Club was
probably
great.
Ed Norton's best movie. I understand.
One of Brad Pitt's best movies, too, I think.
Right. I'm going to get to that. But I understand that Ed Norton is a total dick to work with in Hollywood.
I heard that, too. Yes.
I heard and nothing against you, Ed Norton, you know, because you put out good shit. You're not a bad actor. So if that's what it takes to get your good shit out, 2 thumbs up. But this is one of your best movies, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, when you sit there and God it does the realization at the end, and it shows you beating the shit out of yourself, that is great. I haven't seen somebody beat the shit out of themselves that good since fucking Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead 2.
And what's the first rule about Fight Club?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Most of you already answered that. Why? Because Fight Club's a good fucking movie, that's why. Mm-hmm. I mean...
And then Brad Pitt. I say out of Brad Pitt movies, that one...
I love Brad Pitt in that movie.
Snatch
Oh, he was great in Snatch.
Even though you couldn't fucking understand hardly shit he said, but
And it's full of quotes and that thing we love, that useless knowledge, you know?
mm-hmm.
Making soap and spraying the right shit in a lock and then just pegging it with something and just breaks the whole lock, how to blow up your apartment. I mean, and you know, really, that's the kind of movie you got to give at least 2 watches.
Yeah. And
you watch the first time to figure out what the movie's about and what's happening.
And then at the end you're like, holy shit.
And then you watch it a second time and
having the knowledge from
you
the
know
first
what's
time.
going on, and it's almost like you're watching a whole different movie.
Yeah, and you're trying to pick up, say like, oh yeah, that makes more sense now. And
yeah. So I don't know. Fight Club's a good movie. It's got a really good cast.
And had Hellbomb Connor in it.
Yeah.
And
she was really good.
And Tim Burton did not direct it.
Yeah, it had Meatloaf in it.
Yeah.
Big sweaty man tits. His name
what was it? Bitch,
was Robert Paulson.
what was it, like Bitch Tit Bob or something like that?
I don't know.
It was something about tits and Bob. What it was. But yeah, Fight Club was an awesome movie.
I don't know. That whole movie was good for me. Even the special features are funny.
Yeah.
It's got like Brad Pitt getting close to the camera and going, "Urine is sterile. You can drink it." And I'm like, what? I don't know. It's just Fight Club's a good movie. Plus, we've all thought about that internal need to just knock the shit out of something sometimes. And if you're friends and you can really have that between us, I don't think we could.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's got drunk and been like, "You want to fight or let's wrestle?" You know. Well, they just made a fucking club about it and beat the shit out of each other, and it was therapeutic for them. It worked.
Yeah, that wouldn't work for me. I'd hurt somebody.
Well, as long as you know when to stop. If it's a fight you're both voluntarily stepping into, you're not going to hate each other.
See, that's why I wouldn't want to do it, though, because still, though, you know, get that.
Well, everyone will pull each other off. When someone taps or stops responding, you got to stop the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you get that Wolverine bloodlust going, and you just...
Well, Blake, I know that you can stop. I've seen you stop. So,
like, stopping. But...
that's Fight Club. I think that's a movie everyone needs to see.
Yeah.
People should
have
have
Fight Club. It should be watched. Okay, my next one. What have I covered so far? Die Hard. The first Die Hard.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I mean, I love all Die Hards, but that first Die Hard was great. Poor John McClane walking around barefoot the whole fucking movie.
Stepping on all that glass.
Yeah, no shit. And, you know, smoking cigarettes, watching Captain Kangaroo.
I would put that in my top 3 favorite action movies ever.
Oh, hell yeah. Die Hard.
Die Hard would make it.
Yes. And then the other Die Hards, or at least 2 and 3, would be top 25 easy. Especially number 3 with Samuel Jackson. Hey,
yeah,
Zeus.
and then...
My name ain't Jesus. I look Puerto Rican to you.
Live Free or Die Hard was good, but the one they did after that wasn't that great.
Say Live Free, Die Hard. That's the one with the hacker. With
yeah.
Timothy Olyphant.
That's the one where he throws a car at a helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, it wasn't a helicopter. I thought it was a jet. He like threw... No, he threw that truck up at that fucking F-15. Yeah. Or not, that wasn't F-15, that was F-35.
But that other one wasn't that great.
The one with the son where he's growing up in Russia.
Yeah. It wasn't a horrible movie.
It wasn't bad, but it didn't have your same Die Hard feel.
None of that movie felt like a Die Hard. It was a good standalone, but I wouldn't have called it Die Hard. It was some guy going to another country to help save his son. Yeah,
who was a spy. Yeah. Yeah, but the first one, though, and that movie produced, I mean, he says it in all the other movies, but it produced one of the best movie quotes ever. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I mean, that's great.
Die Hard's good. Die Hard will forever hold a place in my heart. Oh. And it's one of my favorite Christmas movies as well.
Yes, and had Hans Gruber. Fucking Hans Gruber.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah. Rest in peace on you too.
God, all the good ones are dying.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. And, you know, that's the first thing I've ever seen him in. And then he goes on to do all these other movies. And every time I saw him in, you know, he was in Harry Potter and fucking Galaxy Quest. And he was the fucking robot in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I liked him in everything he was in. I can't think of an Alan Rickman movie that I didn't care for.
Right.
I mean, he's
Same
great.
here, but every time I saw him, I always thought Hans Gruber. Because that was the first movie I ever seen him in.
Well, he looks different in Die Hard to me than he does in any of his other movies.
No, in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, he looks pretty much kind of the same. His hair's a little bit longer, but he kind of has that same, because he was the Sheriff of Nottingham.
He was a dick in that movie.
Yes, he was. I'll rip your heart out with a spoon. And his fucking cousin, Guy Gisborne, that guy talk like this. I forgot his fucking name. He was in the Crow.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
He was the bad guy in the first Crow movie, the main one.
Yeah.
But yeah, That was a good movie too, Robin Hood. The Prince of Thieves on Kevin Costner. That was a good damn movie.
Men in Tights was good too.
Oh yeah, Men in Tights was good too. Russell Crowe Robin Hood was good, but changed the
I
story
never saw it.
way too damn much.
I've actually got it, but I just haven't watched it yet.
They changed.
I don't know if you're like me. I got like 4 or 5 movies at home. I haven't even
watched it.
I just haven't had a chance to.
But it's a good movie. It just changed the story a lot. But yeah, Prince of Tights. I mean, not Prince of Tights.
Prince of Tights. Blake is the Prince of Tights.
Prince of Tights.
His apple. Also, your favorite nipple guy. We had a long conversation. We were going to show nipple, but
yeah, we're going to do the Magic Mike edition of Needful Geeks. But yeah,
we don't want to put you all through that.
Yeah, we don't want to lose viewers. So okay, what you got next?
Moving on next.
Die Hard Good.
Die Hard Good.
For Bubba Head Shakes. And them all.
I'm going to roll Young Frankenstein. I'm taking Gene
Mel
Wilder.
Brooks. Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks has great movies.
It's got
Speaking
Gene
of Robin
Wilder,
Hood, Men in Tights.
Marty Feldman, Peter Boyle.
Nice knockers. I mean, I say that at least once a year.
If that cast doesn't make you wish you still had a movie store to rush to and scoop that movie up, you're tasteless. Yeah. That movie is awesome. Yeah, it's some black and white, but
it's like that on purpose.
That adds to it.
Old.
If that movie was in color, it just wouldn't be the same.
Right. It's supposed to do that.
I've seen that movie a million times. Young Frankenstein.
Well, Mel Brooks makes great movies anyway. I mean, Spaceballs, one of my favorite fucking Star Wars ripoff movies. That was great. The Schwartz. And then fucking Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. But I mean, Young Frankenstein, it's got jokes. It's got some of the best puns I've ever seen. And we walk this way. I can help you with that hump. What hump?
Oh, it was great.
My name's Igor.
Igor.
What was the woman's name? Every time they said her name, the horse would neigh outside.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
Fritz something Barber. I don't know.
But fucking...
Frau...
Nice knockers.
I don't know. Anyways, that movie is a must-watch. If you haven't watched it, grow up, get some class, and go watch that movie.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Yes. Okay. So, what have I done? Star Wars, Die Hard. So, you got a list. He's smart. He brought a list on they can read. I'm just doing my shit off the head. Star Wars, Die
Escape from New York.
Yes, that's my 4th one. Escape from New York. Fucking love that movie.
Everybody loves that movie.
That is easily top 5 one of my best action movies. Easy. But, I mean...
That's even like a thriller, because it's almost scary at some parts.
Yeah, like at the beginning when all this fucking...
We're chasing them through the streets.
Yeah, and they're like popping up through the floor and they grab that chick and pull her down and shit. Yeah. That was a great move. Then he had to fight that big, gigantic motherfucker.
That was just a John Carpenter in it, though, you know?
Yeah, the creepy, scary shit in it. I mean... And one, it was great because it made Kurt Russell an action hero instead of doing stuff they did before.
Disney movies all the time.
And him as Snake Plissken was great. Had Isaac Hayes in it, he was great as the Duke, #1.
I'm the Duke, I'm #1.
Then it had Donald Pleasance as the President, which had worked with John Carpenter before in the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Because he was the psychiatrist. And fucking, did you know the opening, when it does the girl talking in 1998, blah, blah, blah. That's Jamie Lee Curtis doing the voiceover.
Oh, really?
Uncredited.
I didn't know that.
That is Jamie Lee Curtis doing it. And after I read that, I went back and watched it and listened, and you can hear...
I'm going to have to check that out again.
Yep, that was uncredited. She wasn't credited for it, but it was Jamie Lee Curtis doing that opening narration to it.
You know, that was kind of a franchise I thought they could have done more with, other than just the 2 movies.
Well, hell, the second one didn't come out till like fucking 10 years later. Or actually longer than that, because the first one came out in 81. And the sequel came out in 95. So
I did not like the second one the first time that I watched it. I had to let that movie grow on me.
It was the same damn movie, pretty much.
It was a lot cheesier. You gotta admit. The surfing scene, all that shit, I mean...
Well, it had Peter Fonda in it. You had to surf in it, man.
I mean, I'm cool with people surfing. I think it's surfing, but... When you've got a hero who can fucking know karate, fly a plane, drive a tank, surf, roller skate, and
play basketball,
ride a unicycle while playing a saxophone, you start wondering, no one person can really do all of these things.
Snake Plissken with one eye.
With one eye. I mean...
Snake Plissken
and so the cheese factor kind of rises, but that movie did grow on me.
And it did have Bruce Campbell in it. The Surgeon General of Beverly Hills. That shit was great.
Yeah. That movie grew on me, and, I had to buy it. I've got both of them. I love those movies.
I do too.
They grew on me, and I love them.
I mean, yes, the second one did have a little bit more cheese. But the first one, though, it really didn't have any cheese in it at all. It was just...
Jesus.
I mean, it was a good damn movie. I mean, And when he fucking drilled that bat with those nails in that guy's head, and
Lord.
he was just doom,
And the basketball scene was pretty cool.
Oh, in L.A.
He had one eye, and he had to launch a basketball across almost the entire court.
And he made it, and then he just looked at him like, fuck
now
you.
what? You know. And he was poisoned at the time, feeling real shitty.
Yeah,
too,
he had
so.
that bad case of the flu.
Yeah.
And fucking Pam Grier.
Pam Grier.
Pam Grier had a great in that one. The second one. But in the first one also had Ernest Borgnine in it.
Yeah.
Cabby.
Yeah.
Fucking love Ernest.
Cabby was awesome.
Love Ernest Borgnine. He was great. One of his other movies that he did that I love was Dirty Dozen. He was the commander in it.
Yeah.
Great. And Dirty Dozen was great. Had Telly Savalas, Charles Bronson.
Love me some Bronson.
Not Lee Majors. Shit. Can't think of his fucking name. It's the main guy, though. Lee something or other. Wasn't Lee Majors. Lee Majors was a $1 Million Man.
Huh.
But anyway, it had a good cast. And it had early, like, young Charles Bronson and shit like that. I mean, that was a good movie. So that's an honorable mention. Dirty Dozen. Check that one out. The original.
Moving on, and I know this is kind of a chick flick. High Fidelity. But,
Kinda.
well, it's a chick flick from a man's point of view. You know what I mean? Like, whenever you've been screwed over by your significant other, you know, be you a man or a woman, you start thinking, yeah, they fucked up, but some of this has got to be me, you know. And he goes through his top 5 worst women breakups and the whole narration of the story. It's fucking awesome, you know. He's not innocent. It's a comedy. It's got Jack Black in it. Have you ever seen it?
It's been a long damn time.
It's got Jack Black in it.
My wife watched it, and I got stuck watching it.
This guy runs his own record store. You know, it's very, very heavily music themed on rock and things like that. You know, it's really good. This guy, he's a DJ. He puts like top 5 lists together about everything in his life, kind of like we do. And I don't know. It's funny. You know, he talks about his top 5 bad breakups, you know, and he goes through each one singularly and then revisits each woman to find out whether it was their fault or his fault so he can feel better about himself, which is kind of shitty in its own right. Which really, he's kind of a shitty character, I guess, which is why I like the movie. It's got John Cusack in it. He's the main character. I mean, I don't know. It's good. It's funny.
It was a good movie.
Oh, and he does something our favorite anti-hero does. He breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Bueller style. I mean, he talks to you. He doesn't just talk to the characters. He'll step
Deadpool
out of the
style.
movie and he'll speak directly to you. You know?
Deadpool style.
It's always cool when people do that. Yeah, Bueller style. Because Bueller was doing it first.
Deadpool. But,
Tim Robbins even makes a guest appearance in it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good movie. I liked it. It's just...
It's funny.
I would have never watched it if my wife didn't make me. It was one of those.
Well, I think I was still living back in Florida. I think my mom had watched it, and I watched it with her, and I thought it was pretty funny. I liked it. It's a good movie. You should check it out. Because sometimes you need to break something from the sci-fi and things like that to refresh your mind to go back to it, you know. And that kind of does the trick. Plus, if you're watching a movie with a special somebody, it's not a bad movie to watch.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, they address the part where, you know when you were a kid, you made mixtapes for a girl.
Oh, hell
or
yeah.
a mixed CD, you know, because you had a message you wanted to get across, and, you know, everybody did that. And they focus on that a lot in the show, too, or the movie, which I thought was good. But it's called High Fidelity. Good movie.
Not High Infidelity.
High Infidelity would have been more accurate.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie.
But now, before I get to my 5th one, I looked up Lee Marvin.
Lee Marvin.
Yeah. And I forgot Donald Sutherland was in that movie, too.
He is in that movie.
Yep. So that has a hell of a cast in that first Dirty Dozen movie. But yeah, Lee Marvin, that was the Lee I was thinking of. So, but anyway, my last movie is the only animated movie we got on here, and I picked it because of my love for this franchise so much, and it came out when I was 6 years old, and I saw it, and it impacted me hard because the main leader, or the good guys, died in it. The original 1986 animated Transformers movie. That movie, like I said, I saw it when I was 6 years old in the theater. When Optimus, spoiler alert if you ain't never fucking watched it. When Optimus Prime died in it, oh hell, I was in fucking tears. I mean, I was 6. I mean, I was like, Optimus Prime, no. And apparently Hasbro got such a bad fucking backlash from parents about that. The G.I. Joe movie, which was set to come out not too long after that, Originally, a guy named Duke in it was going to die. They changed it where the scene looked the same, and he did. They just did some overview saying, he's in a coma.
He's in a coma.
Yeah, and then at the end of the movie, he said, he's awake now. And then he ended up being in the series later on. But yeah, he was going to die then. Now. But since so many parents bitched about Optimus Prime, big fucking robot dying, they definitely didn't want a human dying. But yeah, he would have died brutally because he got a fucking snake thrown right into his damn chest.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, you know, like if any kid had any kind of medical knowledge, they would have realized there was no fucking way he would have survived. But if you watch it without audio on and just watch the scene, you can tell he fucking dies in that scene. So it's just he's in a coma. That you don't see nobody even talk, you just hear fucking
He's in the coma. He survived.
But yeah, that original movie, I mean, I know the 80s Transformers cartoon was pretty much 30-minute toy commercials, and the whole reason in the movie they killed off the first wave because they had a whole new wave of toys coming out and they had to figure out how to do it.
Push the toys, man. Kill them.
But damn, it was fucking brutal. I mean, yes, true, it was robots, so maybe that's why they figured it'd be okay just to blow them the fuck up. But a lot of it was kind of dark for a kids movie in that extent because I mean, within the first 20 minutes, I mean, your whole first season of Transformers are dead except for fucking Bumblebee. And a couple others.
He's a trooper.
Dinobots made it. Of course, Dinobots are fucking cool.
He's a suitor.
But that movie I thought was just great, and I still have now. I bought it every time it's come out in a different format. I bought it. So because one, I'm a big fucking Transformers fan, but two, it's just a really great movie. I mean, the animation picked up compared to the series in it quite a bit. I mean, it had a great cast, and it had Judd Nelson was Hot Rod, fucking Leonard Nimoy was Galvatron. And it was the last thing Orson Welles ever did. He was Unicron. It actually, he died a week before the movie even came out.
Wow.
So that was his final thing he did at all. And they said on the special features, with him going in, or doing this recording, his health was shit. He looked like fucking death going in to record those lines. But Orson Welles was great.
Yeah.
Fucking War of the Worlds, best prank. He was punking people before Ashton Kutcher was even born.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, the Transformers movie was good.
You gotta have some cartoons in the mix.
Yeah, and that one was good, especially my age and my childhood. So, I mean, there's some other cartoon movies that were decent, but that one just stuck out in my head because it made me cry.
Fucking pussy.
You would have cried too, man.
No, I watched it. I didn't cry.
Well, you watched it as an adult. See, that's different. I don't cry now.
Yeah, you do.
I do not.
You're tearing up right now.
I can't help it. Anyway, so that's our top 10, 5 each, whatever the hell you want to call it, of movies that you should see. It's not necessarily our most favoritist top 5 movies of all time ever. Some of them are in the top 5.
There are some movies in this world you just gotta see.
Right.
And these movies are those movies. If you disagree with us, let us know.
Yeah, or if you have a different movie, let us know.
Because this isn't going to be our only list. This is just one of the many top 10s.
Yeah.
Because there's just a metric fuck ton of good movies.
I mean, we could do one just of horror movies, of action movies, of anime movies, which I would probably have the most input on because you don't watch the shit that much. Fucking, comedies. I mean, you could have your own one for every fucking genre there is of top 10s. But,
yeah.
But this is more just one movie you should go watch. And watch them.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I hope you enjoyed our new intro.
And watch us.
And after we're done talking, we actually have an outro now, too.
We like being watched.
Yes. Magic Mike. Woo.
Shut the fuck up, Mike.
Yeah.
Anyways, subscribe, share.
Like, comment.
Play with our Twitterers.
Yes. Instagram. NeedfulGeeks.com. Which will also be flashing in our outro now.
Facebook us.
Facebook us. But anyway. And that's about it.
I think that's all we got.
Yep, that's all we got. Well, join us next time.
I've been Blake.
I've been Ryan.
We'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.